All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Flying Dog Brewery, and they're out of Frederick, Maryland, and this is their K-9 Winter Warmer. So this is a winter warmer that is brewed with cardamom, vanilla bean, and cocoa. Comes in at 7.4% alcohol by volume, 34 IBUs at the time of review. I don't know exactly how old this can is, but it does have a Best By date on the bottom of the can of February 19th of 2020, and we're about 3 months away from then, so we should be fine. Relatively fresh, I would say. So yeah, this is a beer that, I wouldn't say this is a bucket list beer for me, but this is a beer that ever since I got back into craft beer about 10 years ago, I've wanted to try. Back then, I would look on Beer Advocate and be like, oh, what beers sound interesting? And this one did sound interesting to me. So it's been a long time coming for me when it comes to reviewing this beer and drinking this beer in general. And it showed up here recently, and I was like, you know what? It's relatively fresh, and I want to give it a go. So here we are. Anyway, winter warmers usually have a lot of them just, usually have spices and whatnot. This one has cardamom, which is fine, but then vanilla bean and cocoa, which is cool. It'll be interesting. See how this one is. Let's give it a pour here. So it was coming out, looked quite carbonated, so I'm not going to go crazy here on the pour, but definitely a bigger head here. I'm going to sheet here a little bit. A lot of cardamom, holy shit. Ooh. That's a lot of cardamom, holy. So that pours out this really deep, like mahogany color, ruby red. It's more of like a dark brown in the middle on the tinges, the edge of the glass here. Look it up. Put it to the light. It's definitely like a deep mahogany, but like right in front of my camera here, it's in the middle. It's like a deep dark brown, and on the sides, it's like a ruby red tinge. Has about a 2 finger of a straight up, I'd say, tan colored head, khaki colored head. Nice and creamy looking, mostly tight, compact bubbles with a few large ones thrown in. But yeah, that looks nice. Let's get a nose. Yeah, so the cardamom screaming right off the top. It's hard to get past that. Touch of like a metallic note. Yeah, but cardamom, sweeter, like brown sugar notes. Brown bread. The cocoa is starting to come through more of like a... like a baker's chocolate, something like that, where it's not sweet, but it has like a chocolate kind of character to the aroma, but not sweet. Yeah, the metallic thing is there. I feel like I'm not going to taste that, and it's more of like on the nose. It's giving me like milk stout vibes. A lot of times they're like American porter vibes. Sometimes when I get, those types of beers, they'll have like a metallic tinge to the nose. Rarely carries over. Yeah, it smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. It's solid beer. The cocoa and the vanilla is coming through a little bit more on the palate. So right from that cocoa and vanilla is there, brown bread, sweeter, like brown sugar vibes. Pass through the palate, halfway through, the cardamom kicks in, has a spiciness, and then like the dryness kind of hits you. And that carries on through the back of the palate, finishes semi to full on dry, touch of residual sweetness, low to moderate bitterness, almost no bitterness to speak of, just like a very low, I'd say more low than moderate. 7.4% is straight up medium body. The mouthfeel is a little bit more crisp and effervescent than I was assuming it would be. I thought there would be a little more of like a soft smoothness, but this has a decent amount of carbonation to it. Very easy to drink at 7.4%. I don't get any booze on the palate. A little bit of chest warming, but not really, just a touch. It's going down extremely well. Honestly, this is where I put this. This is not a lager. This is not a bock. This is not a festive bock with spices. So I don't want to compare this exactly to Samuel Adams Winter Lager. Samuel Adams Winter Lager, Samuel Adams Winter Lager. But this for me is kind of like on the same level, the same playing field. It has nice characteristics to it. It's a solid beer and I enjoy it, but it's just nothing that's kind of blowing me away. Like I said, I wanted to try this one for a long time. I think it would have been a little bit more explosive and just like it worked for my palate a little bit more, like say 8-9 years ago when I first got into craft beer. I think I would have really liked this one. As the years have passed, spiced beers and winter warmers and stuff, I do enjoy them, but there's just most of them just don't blow me away. And this one, I can easily drink this one at 7.4%. 7.4% hides the alcohol well. It's just nothing special in my palate. I will say this: I'm pretty sure I gave the winter lager. Did I give that a 3.6? I think I gave that a 3.6 out of 5. I think I like this a little bit more. It's almost 2 percentage points higher than that beer. And again, I'm only comparing them because that beer is kind of fresh in my mind, reviewing it, within the last week or so, week and a half ago. This one has similar characteristics, but that cardamom was a little bit more prevalent in the nose, and I think if it would have carried over, it would have been a little bit less good in my eyes. It's not like I hate cardamom or anything, but it was just really strong. I like that I get more of the vanilla and chocolate. I think it's a little bit more complex on the winter lager. Again, why am I comparing the two? Because I'm an idiot. But I just think fresh in my mind or whatever, I like this one a little bit more, so I'm going to appropriately rate this one. I'm going to give the K-9 Winter Warmer from Flying Dog a low 3.75 out of 5. I'm going to go 3.7 out of 5. I think this is good for a winter warmer. I think it hides the alcohol well. I just don't think there's, it's not super complex. And while it's quite drinkable, the flavors are just nice. And that's pretty much where it ends for me. I like it. It's good. I'm glad I finally tried it. At the end of the day, probably never buy this one again just because while it's a solid, good beer, there's just better winter warmers out there for me personally. And it's just good. It's just good beer. So 3.7 out of 5 for K-9 Winter Warmer from Flying Dog. If you had this one before, let me know what you think about price and availability. Price on this, I think I paid $2.39 for this can. I would imagine 6-packs are probably in like the $12, $13 range for a 7.4% beer with vanilla bean, cocoa, and cardamom in it. Yeah, I think that's a solid price. It's not like a great value, but it's also not a poor value. So I think it's probably worth the $12, $13 a 6-pack. Availability, Flying Dog in the Western New York area here specifically, kind of drying up. Obviously, we see this, and this is a seasonal release or whatever. But a lot of their regular beers, I can't get super fresh. Like their Belgian IPA, Raging Bitch, I'd like to review that one and drink that one, but I can't find it like under 3 months old. It's tough to find a lot of their beers fresh. Most of their seasonals show up fresh, obviously, like this one. So if I review more from them, it will be probably seasonals, unless I find a super fresh, like shelfy, year-round beer from them. But yeah, they kind of dried up a little bit, which is disappointing. But this one did show up fresh. So it depends. If you see Flying Dog, you'll probably see this one. I don't know their exact distribution. They do say on the can here, though, I will point this out. It says, actually, it's on the other side here, right? No, where is it? No, right there. Brewed and canned by Flying Dog Brewery, Frederick, Maryland, and Utica, New York. So Utica, New York probably means Saranac. So I don't know if they're contract brewing now at Saranac too, which is why we see some of their stuff like this. Whatever the case may be, if you see Flying Dog, you should see this beer. So, good beer, 3.75 or 3.7 out of 5 for K-9 Winter Warmer. If you've had this one before, like I said, let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Till the next one, cheers.